What's up guys? Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing below and hitting that little bell to make sure you get all the notifications of my latest videos. Today I'm going to be doing a eye look. It's going to be gorgeous. I'm going to be using my new Morphe palettes between these two here and also a little bit of my Seint makeup. So stay tuned and let's see what we can create. So before we go ahead and get started, I'm going to just make sure that my lips are nice and moisturized because I am going to talk my way through this video step by step so that you can follow along. So I am loving this new Seint Solstice. It's a tinted balm and it's just so rich and smooth and moisturizing for the lips. So I've got that on, let's go. Okay, so the first step you wanna do when you're gonna do your eye look is make sure that the eyelids are primed and ready to go. So I will be using this here. This is my Seint brightening shade. It's a cream highlight and it just works so wonderfully on the lid. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start to carve out underneath my brows here. Just being very precise. And then from there you can bring that down until you cover your whole lid. You want to do the eyelid and all the way up to the brow because that's where we're going to be putting all of our eyeshadow. And then we're going to go ahead and take our beauty blender that is just a little bit damp and we're just going to pat that into the skin just to blend it before we powder.
I can't forget the day we met, your smile so bright.
Okay, hold up. I am way too white here. It's distracting me. So I just need to add a little bit of bronzer here so I can get on with the video. I need some Bella bronzer in my life. This is the Bella bronzer. This is the blush and bronzer brush. Let me just pat that on my neck and chest here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and swirl it around. It'll be a little crazy. Oh my God, I already feel better. So white, I missed the sun. It was distracting me. Okay, my head's back in the game, baby. Let's continue. Just kidding, I'm a bronzer whore. I need more. I need more, give it all to me. Give me that bronzer, baby. Oh yeah. Ooh. This is very low cut, I didn't realize. Oh, it's, my button came undone. Okay. Where were we before I distracted myself with my cleavage? Yes, we need to set our concealer slash highlight slash primer, whatever you use on your eyes. It all works the same-ish. So let's set it. I'm gonna use this NudebyNature. It's just a translucent setting powder. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that. I love these beauty blenders. I use them for pretty much everything. I usually do prefer them over a brush, but in some cases, it's just easier to use a brush for certain things. So the majority of the time, you'll see me using the sponge. So anytime you use a cream on your face for anything, just remember that the rule is always set it with a powder after. Otherwise, it could slide around and that ain't good for anybody, okay? So that's set. Okay, ooh, this is a beautiful smooth base. I'm so excited. So this is my new Morphe palette I got yesterday, yestertime, as my son would say. This is a neutral palette. This is actually the 350 Super Natural Glow by Morphe. These are so affordable, it's insane. This was like 35 bucks Canadian, I think. Look at these. There's like every perfect shade you could ever imagine. Now just to decide which one I want to go with. Well, I'll be damned. The one I chose without looking at the this thing was How Bizaar. Now I'm gonna have that freaking song stuck in my head, guaranteed. You know the one I'm talking about? How Bizaar, how Bizaar. Anyway, it's this one. We're gonna go in with that one to start. So I'm gonna grab a fluffy-ish brush, throw that on my crease. Let's do it. Okay, so I've grabbed my Seint multitasker brush. These are all double-ended, so I'm gonna use the fluffier one here because it kind of has like that tapered top, which is what I want for in my crease. So let's just tap into this. So looking straight ahead, this is a good tip if you have hooded eyes too, is you're just going to kind of dab this on and place it where you want it. We're gonna blend it out after, but we're gonna start here. Yeah, this is a little bit darker. We're kind of changing up the order of things as per the rules. I'm just a rule breaker today. So putting this on the outer V of my eye and just lightly blending it. This is going to be one of the deeper shades. Normally I would start with an all over, kind of like a light taupey color all over the lid. Once you have this placed kind of in the areas that you want it, then you can kind of close your eye a little bit more and just ever so gently blend it along the top of your crease towards this part of your brow. See, I'm barely holding it. I'm coming in from down below. So if you look at the side, this is how it's gonna look. And I'm barely touching. I have the slightest amount of pressure on here. This is gonna give us our shape. All right, so let's do our second color, which should have been the first, but we'll make it work. Blending is the key. So we're gonna go to one above this here. This is a much lighter, basically it's kind of like my skin tone, but darker. This one is called Believe It from the Morphe palette. And I'm gonna take this on the inside of my lid here and just apply that to the lid on the inner half, I would say. Just kind of tapping it in, making sure I get enough on there. This brush that I'm using is so affordable. This one is from Walmart and it's an e.l.f. It's part of the cookies and cream set that they have. And it actually works really well. I'm quite impressed with a lot of the e.l.f. products actually. This is another one of the brushes from e.l.f., the cookies and cream collection. It is, oh, it doesn't have a number or a name. Oh well, it's this one. It's the one that's a little bit fluffier. I'm gonna take this color here, kind of like this bone color. It's a white that has a little bit of beige-ish tone to it. This one is called Upfront, and I'm literally gonna put it up front, like right kind of on the inner part of my eyelid here, and just blend it in towards the center, just to kind of lighten up and brighten the inner eye. And then I'm also going to take a little bit more on the brush, always tap off the excess, and I'm just going to take it underneath my arch of my brow on both sides, and this just really gives it a nice bright shine up here. Okay, take a blending brush, a clean blending brush, and let's just blend some of this together. Now you're going to do little circles along the outside here where you want it to really soften. If you have hooded eyes, again, like I do, you want to kind of avoid only doing the windshield wiper, which is back and forth like this. You want to kind of do your little circles because it's going to blend so much nicer for you. Otherwise, when you blink, if the blend is not how it should be, it's just going to get lost in that void, you could call it, I guess. So just blend it out super softly with that clean brush until you achieve the softness that you want. You can always build on this and add a little bit deeper of a color. In fact, let's go ahead and add a little bit deeper color to the outside. I want to kind of kick this up a notch. So I've just picked up that first brush that I used, the Seint Multitasker, and this still has that first shade on it, right? Which was How Bizaar. How Bizaar, How Bizaar. And we're gonna just take a little bit deeper of a shade here to really give that dramatic effect on the outside. So this one is called All Natch. I'm gonna go into this one. Load up my brush, tap off the excess, and then again, looking straight ahead, I'm just gonna kind of put that in the corners and bring it up towards the tail of my brow, and then bring that in. Same on this side. I'm just gonna tap it on. Another trick you can do too, after you tap off the excess, is just rub it on your hand a little bit, just to make sure you get off all that excess. If you're afraid of it, like really kind of ruining your look that you already have. Okay, don't forget to really grab a mirror. I mean, you're probably doing it in the mirror anyway. You're not like me and recording it into a phone or a camera, but I'm just gonna take this mirror and look straight ahead and just make sure, like you can see here, I couldn't tell until I looked in the mirror, but this one is a lot lower. So I'm just gonna take this and bring it up so that they are symmetrical. This Morphe palette, I am freaking so over the moon with. I can't even tell you. I for sure 10 out of 10 recommend it if you're looking for like a full palette with all the colors in it. Don't get me wrong, I am completely in love with my Seint eye palette, but this one just happens to have more shades available, which I really need. Because I'm a Libra, I'm indecisive. I need 10 million colors. It's only right. The perfect smoky eye is all about the blend. I know I sound like a broken record, but it has to be said again and again and again and again and again and again because it's that important. So let's just take this clean fluffy brush again and we're just gonna blend it out super softly. Both sides.
I can't forget the day we...
I'm so impatient, so to do like a blended smoky eye is like, it's so fun for me, but I really have to be in the zone. Otherwise, I'm just impatient. I just want to slap it on and do it. But I really need to just work on my patience. I know I'm not the only one. Like, we are busy. People today lead so busy of a life. It's insane.
When I see it all, I knew that you were mine.
All right, let's add some shimmer. No word of a lie. I literally just sat here and stared at this palette for like a solid 5 minutes, like contemplating which color to use. It's that exciting. This is like just so fun. I love makeup. I love artistry. I love creating beauty. This is like my passion, without a doubt. So I think I decided I'm going to go with this one here, which is called In a Flash. And it's just like, it kind of matches my background. It's super shimmery and beautiful. So I'm just gonna take this Sephora shadow brush. This is in 205, tap off the excess, and I'm just gonna go in here along the center and just dab that on. Oh my gosh, this is so perfect. I didn't want it too sparkly because I'm gonna use my other shadow that I have in mind. Bear with me. Dab that on. And then I love this brush because you can just flip it around and blend it out. Okay, it's like my favorite time because I'm in love with the shadow. So 2 things. I'm going to show you this little hack. If you don't have one of these little brush tiles, these are phenomenal because like half my brushes are wet because I'm constantly cleaning them. So if you are short on time and you need to just dip between colors, this little brush tile is amazing. All the powder just comes off the brush, goes to the bottom here. Get yourself a brush tile, girl. So next, now that we've done that, I'm actually going to just use my finger. I like to use my ring finger because it is the lightest touch, and we're going to go into this unicorn. So let's do this. This one is like freshly fallen snow. It's so good. It's so good.